Welcome back to the Nerdyverse. I'm Danny.
I'm Cheng.
And here we are then. Happy New Year, everybody. We have finally
Year.
we're finally here in 2024. And we just wanted to start off by saying thank you so much for all the support over the last year in 2023. It was a big year and our first year. I mean, technically we haven't been a year, have we yet?
I know, that's crazy, right? It feels like we've been here
crazy.
way longer than that.
I know. But yeah, we started in like April, I think it was April time.
I believe so.
So, yeah, and in that time, we've got 1,300 subscribers. So thank you to all of you that are already on board. And hopefully we see a load more join as we go, as we release more content. And a big thank you to those of you that have already joined the Patreon as well. So for some of you probably know about it. Some of you probably don't know that we have it. But yes, we do have a Patreon where currently we've got two tiers running at the moment, and one is for early reactions where you'll see ReZero and Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, that is, by the way, 4 weeks early before it comes to YouTube. And then the other tier is one where you can see a full uncut video 4 weeks early again. So yeah, go check out those tiers. I'm not going to bore you with explaining them now, because you can go and have a look at that in your own time and have a look at what the tiers include and whether that's something you'd like to join up on. But yeah, huge thank you to those that have joined us so far, I think, isn't it, really?
Yeah, a massive thank you for everyone who supported us over the last year. Yeah. And yeah, hopefully we'll have a lot more stuff coming in the next year.
Absolutely. We've got freaking loads of things that are coming out.
It's too many.
So many. Like, we were just doing a big scout and having a look at, like, I wonder which ones we've got coming this year. Let's have a look at the current season that we're on now, coming into winter, and then let's have a look at the spring. And it's already packed, like, and it's hard for us because we try and not pack it too heavy, but it's been so hard. Like, there's so much coming out that it's so hard to go, oh yeah, well, we want to watch this, or we want to watch this, we want to watch... Yeah, anyway. And then there's other stuff, obviously, like TV series that we're into as well, like Marvel. There's quite a few Marvel stuff coming on. But anyway, let's have a look at 2023 though. So 2023's happened. We're going to focus on anime in this video, by the way. If you want us to do a video where we talk about our top TV series and top movies or whatever it is, then we can do a separate one maybe on that as well if you'd like to see that. But this one is going to be focused on anime because that is the majority of what we do on here. So top 10 of 2023 is what we're going to focus on. So the top 10 anime of
that were released or started in 2023.
Yes, has to have been released and started at least in 2023. For example, Blue Lock for me would be in my top 10, but it technically came out in 2022 and then creeped over into 2023. But that's not going to be in this list, so it has to have started in this year. Last year. God, I need to get used to that. Jesus.
I know, right?
Okay, so starting up then from number 10. Where are you going first? What's your 10th?
Ooh, for me, this was difficult to place. There were quite a few contesting this spot, but I chose Apothecary Diaries in the end for my number 10 slot. I didn't watch it on the channel because you kind of started very early on it, and I kind of checked it out way later on when you sort of recommended it. Ended up really enjoying it. I think it's been a lot of fun. It's been very intriguing as well, but
it's very mystery, overall, isn't it? It's got a lot of mystery to that one. I find loads.
Yeah, for sure. And I feel like it's not one which is like, it's too action packed or too heavy. It's just like something good to just chill out and watch, and it's been pretty good fun. So yeah, that's my number 10. What about yours? Mine is
Ragnar Crimson. Now I don't need to say much more than it's got dragons and it's got dragon slayers, and it went off like a cannon straight away, which was great. It's done a great job of building character development at the moment. So there's a lot of that been focused, because at the moment it's only done half of the first. It's a double core, so it's done core 1, and then we've got core 2 kicking off next week, I think it is, or this weekend actually. So Ragnar Crimson has been really good though, because it's just like, I don't want to spoil it too much in case people haven't actually checked it out. But if you're into like dragons, and you're into like some really fun action with comedy as well, then you definitely want to check that out because it's been really good. So that's my 10th, Ragnar Crimson.
Nice.
Yeah. So 9th, then what's yours for 9th?
So 9th place for me would be Horimiya The Pieces. So I really enjoyed like the original series of Horimiya, which was like a romance anime, and basically Pieces was just like all the sort of smaller sort of storylines and like chapters and stuff that they cut out of the anime from the manga. So they just ended up like doing a season of just all the stuff that they cut out, pretty much, I think.
Yeah.
And yeah, overall, I thought it was really cool. We had a lot of more sort of moments where like, you know, we had a lot of character development and character building, and I think it just added on a lot more to the original series. There were quite a few like episodes that I really enjoyed, which sort of focused on like, you know, showing more moments of the relationships between the main characters, which was really, really wholesome and nice. So yeah, really good fun. I really enjoyed it. What about you? What would be your number 9?
Oh, it's the one with, mate, this is what's crazy. So we've been going since April, and this is literally one of the first ones that we started to watch in April, in that spring season. It's Mashal, season 1. Oh,
good old Mashal.
Like, I just remember it. I remember watching episode 1 on my own at the time, didn't I? I watched it on my own, and I went, right, Cheng, we need to add this to our list of things to watch, because like this is just brilliant. And the easiest way I can explain it to people is, imagine like sticking, I suppose, One Punch Man with Harry Potter / maybe a bit of Black Clover in there as well. If you mix all those 3 things in together, you've probably already got MASH. And that's pretty much what this is. It's honestly, if you're a Harry Potter fan especially, you need to check it out purely because of the fact it just rips into it all the time. So it's brilliant. It's 100% fun. And that is one that we're checking out on the channel again. Season 2 is here. It begins this weekend, and I'm excited for that because yes, MASH is back. It's back.
It was a lot of fun. Like it surprised us, didn't it? It was so funny, like the first season. So yeah, I am excited for season 2.
Give me some more of those cream puffs. I can't wait to see the cream puffs back. But yeah, that's my number 9. What
cool.
about 8
so moving on to number 8. I put Shangri-La Frontier. This is another one that you started watching on the channel, but then you sort of recommended it to me way later on. So yeah, I decided not to jump on it because sometimes it's nice just to watch stuff in your own time and not have to worry about recording things. So yeah, I've been really enjoying this. I think every episode has been really good. Like every episode has ended and I'm like frustrated, like, oh, can't believe it's ended already. Yeah, I found it just a lot of fun, very intriguing, very interesting story. Yeah, I've just really enjoyed it. What about you? What's your number 8?
Funny enough, my number 8 is actually Shangri-La Frontier 2. So, I mean, like you just quite rightly said, it's so much fun. And we're both into our gaming, so like some of the memes that I really enjoy because I'm just like, yep, experienced that before. Or like some of the things that they take the mick out of in it as well. And I think I just find it hilarious that the main character's character, because obviously he's playing a game, is literally got a freaking bird head.
See, that was what originally put me off it, like, because I didn't like the look of the bird head, and I was like, oh, this looks kind of stupid, but they kind of explained it in the first season, and you're kind of like, all right, yeah, fair enough, and kind of get over it quickly.
And it, like you said, it's been so good so far, and it keeps you on hook because obviously there's a main plot that we know what the main plot is, but I'm not going to spoil it. But there's a main plot to it, but there's loads of little subplots that you're like, ooh, I want to see how that's going to play out. For example, there's one little subplot that both me and you are going, when is it finally going to happen? When? Like, because it's going to happen at some point. Yes. When is it finally going to happen? Because you're getting little sneak peeks at it. It's like, it's really good. You need to check it out. If you haven't, go and check out Shangri-La Frontier. Give it the 3-episode rule, and I tell you now, you'll have watched episode 2 and be hooked anyway. So, yeah, that's number 8. Number 7 then. What's number 7 for you?
Ooh, for me, number 7 would be Demon Slayer season 3, I think it was, like the Swordsmith Village arc. I thought it was really, really good season. Not as good as the previous one, but I think it was still pretty strong. It was just a lot of fun action. I think the animation was really cool. Like I think we even had a few emotional moments in. I think it just had everything pretty much. It was just typical Demon Slayer. Like, it's nothing crazy or special, but it does what it does well. And
we did have that big moment though. I'm not going to spoil it. Surely people have watched it by now. But anyway, I'm not going to spoil it. But remember the big moment where a certain someone
The emotional
Says
one
some-
near the end.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of referencing. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was good, but yeah, I enjoyed that
For sure. So yeah, as I said, like I don't think Demon Slayer is like anything like amazing or special, but what it does well, and I really enjoyed it. What about you? What would be your number 7?
Now, this is big, by the way, because for me to put this in a top 10, it's done
Surprising.
well. Oshinoko season 1, for it to be coming my top 10 now. Most of mine, you'll all notice already, is kind of either comedy based or action based or both.
I am very
Oshinoko's
surprised this made it into your top 10.
yeah. So it sits at number 7. And maybe for example, maybe Shangri-La Frontier, Ragnar Crimson might creep further up, but because we've only had half of it so far, that's where it sits. But Oshinoko, I think it was just had a really kick. It was a really big start and had some big moments throughout it, and it does leave you in places where you're going, I want to know how this is going to play out, because there's a lot to this, and I just don't know how he's going to react at the end of it all. Like when we finally do find things out and learn a bit more. But yeah, for those that might not have checked it out, like just go watch the first episode, and I guarantee you'll watch it and you'll go, huh, okay, did not expect that.
It did have a super long episode, didn't it, for the first one, which was like an hour long or something.
But what it did really well is, though, it highlighted some actual issues within that industry, over in Japan. So it actually does highlight some stuff that, do you know what? Yes, they've exaggerated it, but there's something in that, and just in that in general. So yeah, really good. So yeah, that's my number 7. What about 6th for you then?
This was a surprise for me. So number 6 for me was The 100 Girlfriends Who Really, 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 Really Love You. Yeah, I'm a big fan of romance anime, but because of that, I really hate harem animes. Because like romance animes, I love seeing the two characters get to know each other and see their relationship develop and stuff. And usually they're really wholesome. Well, usually with harem animes, they're just super sort of ecchi and sexual, and it's just always the girls just trying to one up each other, and they're constantly antagonizing each other, and I just find it really boring and shit to watch. And usually my favorite girl never wins in those series, so it pisses me off anyway. Looking at you Nisekoi and what's the other one? The quintessential quintuplets or whatever. Yeah. 100 Girlfriends, though, it's kind of like a parody on the harem sort of genre. And it's just constantly making gags and jokes and everything of everything. And because it doesn't take itself too seriously, I think they've done a really good job of actually hitting all the moments, and it actually does feel super wholesome, and it has these emotional moments, and it somehow captures those really well, while also still having all the gags and comedy. And we've kind of said it during our reactions, but you kind of get emotional whiplash from it, because 1 minute you're pissing yourself laughing, and then the next minute you're nearly on tears, and then you're back to laughing again. It's what the hell is happening? But yeah, overall I think the series has been super fun, and I'm really excited for the next season. What about you? What's your number 6?
Heavenly Delusion. Now this was a total random choice for myself when I first watched it. Again, I think I started it first, didn't I? And then I said to you, just check it out when you get a chance, because it's a banger. And the whole season, I was sitting there going, what's going on? Linking all these pieces together. But it left you in a place as well by the end of the season where you're going, I still need to know. It'll be one of those stories that if I need to know the answer, I have to know how it's going to play out, because there's a lot of stuff going on. And yeah, it's a post-apocalyptic world situation. There's a load of stuff going on that I'm not going to go into, because again, I don't want to ruin it for anybody that might not have watched it, because I do feel like this one went under the radar for a lot of people. I do think it did. I don't know if it did get the heat that it deserved. I felt like it should have got.
I think it did get quite a lot of attention, but not as much as it should have. I think it definitely deserved more than it got.
Yeah, because I just think, for me, it's in my top 10. It was one of the big ones for me this year. it was really good. Again, I don't want to. I'm trying to avoid saying anything more because just go and watch it. It's got good mystery in it, and for those that enjoy constantly like talking about, oh, is it this or is it that? Is it figuring it out? Go watch it. Trust me. But anyway, that's my number six. So what's fifth for you? We're into the top 5 now.
Ooh, so fifth place for me, I think, is Bleach: The Thousand Year Blood War Part 2. Yeah, so like I was a massive Bleach fan. I think Bleach was probably one of the anime which like first got me back into anime when I was younger. Yeah, so I think the original Bleach series always has like a special place in my heart. But when I originally read the manga, I did not enjoy this like arc because I thought like the power scaling was kind of like weird, and you had to read like these long fights which dragged out for ages. But I think the anime has done a really good job of adapting it, where everything just feels like, it doesn't feel dragged out or anything, and the fights are a lot easier to follow and stuff. So I've been really enjoying the last arc. I think every episode we just had like banger episodes like constantly in a row, didn't we? Where each episode something badass happened, or like, really hype moments. I think they really captured those hype moments, like, where say like, someone uses a Bankai, or, like a character shows up, and then, we have the music, the song playing, and it's just like, God, shit, here we go.
We're gonna talk about our top 5 openings in a bit, by the way, but like, I wish that was cast as an opening because it deserves to be in it. Every top 5 ever, it deserves to go in there because that song is just so good.
Yeah, what was it, like number 1, isn't it?
Yeah. Cool. And like you said, every time that Bankai, that word, I don't know what it is about the word.
It is such a good phrase. Like, it's so cool. But yeah, I really enjoyed the season of Bleach. I thought every episode was just super like hype, and it's rare when I like get that moment where I'm like super excited and hyped up for the next episode and stuff. So I think it did a really good job of capturing that. But yeah, that was my number 5. What would be yours?
Well, mine's really quick, short, sweet, because we've talked about it already. You've had it as your sort of number 7. So it's Demon Slayer season 3. Yeah, that's my 5th. That's where I put it. But what about 4th for you then?
For 4th, for me, it was Mushoku Tensei Season 2. Yeah, so Mushoku Tensei was something you recommended me to check out. I'm kind of gutted that I checked it out just before we did the channel, because I think it would have been good if I reacted to it on the channel, but unfortunately we just missed that. So, like, I still remember, like, when I watched it, I only knew about part 1, like the first core of season 1. So I watched it and I was like, I don't know, man, like, I don't think it's that good. It just feels kind of like a generic isekai. Like, what are you on about? Why is it so good? And I was just like, it's okay, but I don't see, like, because I was really annoyed, because I was like, all I wanted to see was like Rudy develop this relationship with Sylphie and just, go to this university that they're planning on. But then, he got kidnapped, and then he went on the whole journey to go live with like Eris and stuff, and then like, everything else happens, and then the story goes in a complete different direction. But then we come back to season 2 and we finally go in the direction that I originally wanted to see. So I really enjoyed the season, because this is what I kind of originally wanted to see in Mushoku Tensei, was like this sort of relationship develop and like these character moments and stuff. And I think they captured some of the moments really well. There were quite a lot of emotional moments in the season that got me. So yeah, I really enjoyed it.
I do remember, by the way, in season 1 when you watched it like in your own time. Like, I remember you going, "Nah, it's not that great," and I was like, "Well, what about this moment?" And you were like, "What?"
Oh yeah, I forgot to explain that. Yeah, so like, I only watched the first core and kind of missed the second core, and yeah. So Dan was like, "Oh yeah, when like this character gets killed or something," I'm like, "Huh? What?" I was like, "You're like, oh yeah, like, when they get attacked by this dragon thing," and I'm like, "Dragon? You mean the big snake thing?" He's like, "What snake?" I'm talking about the dragon thing, and I'm like, "What are you on about?" And then I look it up, and I'm just like, huh. I see now. Because I was talking to another friend as well who was saying it was really good. I'm like, I don't get what everyone's talking about. Like, what is these like crazy moments they're talking about? Not really much has happened. But yeah, it turns out I was missing half the season. So yeah, the second core definitely hooked me in to the whole series.
The first core was like, it was good, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't like, I wouldn't say it was groundbreaking, but like the second core was very good. Nice.
Yeah. But yeah, that is my number 4. What would be yours?
Oh, I mean, how do I say it? Special, was it? Jujutsu Kaisen, of course, season 2. Like I loved season 1 though, and years ago. God, was it 2019 that came out? The first season?
I have no idea.
It was a long time ago. And like, look, I get the people. I was frustrated with the way that season 2 probably ended, but I still think it was a very strong season for me because of the way it began with the, got a bit of a backstory of, Geto and Gojo. And then obviously now we've got some crazy stuff going on. I'm not going to spoil any more because I know that is very recent. So it's only just come to its finale. So I'm not going to say any more on that. But Jujutsu Kaisen season 2 sits there for me because I just think it was really good. Like I do really enjoy it. Frustrated about the finale, but the rest of it was really good for me. I'm not going to say any more now though, because
I kind of enjoyed it, but at the same time, it didn't make my top 10 because I feel like it was very on and off for me. I feel Jujutsu Kaisen's always been like that with me. I've never found it super. I've never loved it because I don't think it does as great job as other series in developing their characters. I feel like a lot of the characters in Jujutsu Kaisen I don't really give a shit about.
Yeah, it's fair. That's fair.
I think that's like one of my biggest gripes with the series. I can never I'm like never super attached to the characters. But overall though, I think like the last sort of 3/4 of season 2 I thought was really good and I really enjoyed it. Minus the last episode, as we've kind of discussed. It was quite kind of confusing and it was hard to sort of follow what was happening. It seemed quite a lot of people also struggled with the same thing because I was kind of looking it up afterwards.
Yeah, I had a few people mention to me on TikTok. So I obviously have my TikTok page and I posted a review about it. And I had the same people saying like a few people have explained it to me better now, so I
After reading up on it, it's a lot easier to understand. But when you're watching it, it was so hard to follow what was happening.
So that's my 4th, JJK season 2. You are my special. Anyway, I'm never going to get that one out of my head, am I? But anyway, what was 3rd for you? We're in the top 3. Here we go.
Top 3. So 3rd place for me is one that you've already put, was Heavenly Delusion. Not too much more to say on it, as you've already spoken a lot about it. But I did really enjoy this because it was just the whole mystery aspect of it. Every episode we watch, it was just like, what is happening? What is going on? Like, you just left like so confused. Huh?
There was some horrific moments towards the end.
There was that as well, yeah. But there was like another anime kind of similar to this that I watched before, where every episode I watched, I was like, I don't understand what is happening. What is the plot of this anime? I'm like 10 episodes in and I don't even understand what the plot is or what is happening. And I feel like this gave me very similar vibes. And I thought it was fascinating though, because like we started coming up with theories like throughout, and then like our theory started actually coming together, and it was just like, oh shit, it is actually what we thought it was. And it was just like these big revelations where, slowly things start to make sense. But the thing that I found fascinating about it was depending on like how good you were at picking up these hints and stuff, because when we react, I find it difficult to take everything in completely, so I do miss things. But then like other people who are like super eagle-eyed, they'd like pick up little bits very early on, and they would put together the same theories way earlier. But throughout the series, we'll just get like more and more hints, and then like people pick it up at different points in the series. But yeah, there were a lot of big interesting revelations, and I really enjoyed like the speculation aspect of that. I'm hoping we get a new season of it, but it's one of those which I'm worried that it's just going to sort of fall off and die, and we're never going to hear anything about it again.
I'm hoping not.
But
No.
yeah, apart from that, I really enjoyed it. What about you? What would you? Your number 3?
It is that we only had like, I feel like people are gonna be like, what? I only had 2 episodes this year, but like, so last year, obviously 2023, Attack on Titan had its 2 final ever. It's done. It's in the box. It's over. The anime is finally complete. Attack on Titan is 3rd place for me because I just think like I can vividly remember it, and that's why I always know if an anime has done a great job for me because I can vividly remember some key scenes that happen in those 2 final episodes that are going to stick with me forever. Like, and even now, I still ask that question of hero or villain. I'm still debating. I still debate myself now after all of it.
I don't think you can say he was a hero. He was a selfish character who did a lot of things just to save like the people close to him.
I know, but
think
I'm
that was
like,
the whole
I don't
point of it
know.
all.
It's hard. Yeah. Anyway, but there was some big moments that obviously, like, I don't want to. I say I don't want to spoil it, like no one else has watched it already, but I'm not going to spoil it just in case there are people that have never checked out Attack on Titan before. But if you are after one of the best anime that's ever existed, and I'm going to use that term because I do think it's up there.
That's a big claim.
It is. It's up. No, I'm not saying it's the greatest. I'm saying it definitely should be considered in minimum the top 50. Minimum. Right, it should be in there.
I mean, top 50, that's a big amount of anime.
No, it is. Sure. There's been a lot of anime there, hasn't there? But like, I'd be too brave to say it'd be in my top 10 without properly analysing what I have watched, etc. But
okay, fair enough.
It's definitely one of the best anime I've watched because like those final 2 parts, mate, all my emotions were all over the place watching those 2. And the whole series has been phenomenal, to be fair. I've really enjoyed it. Like, even some of the moments where it completely, you think, oh, yeah, I know where this is going. Then, pow! And it just does that. It had a lot of those moments in this anime.
It did.
And it did feel like it wasn't an anime that had plot shield. There was no plot shield. The plot shield was not there for anyone. It didn't matter who you were. It
did always kind of feel like the Game of Thrones of anime, didn't it? Like,
yeah, it was not afraid to just go, oh yeah, you know this character that we've spent like 3 or 4 seasons on developing? Haha, they're dead. Like, it's like, wow, thanks for that. That's brilliant. So yeah,
I'm still mad that one of my favourite characters got killed off at some point. I won't say who, but
yeah, I know.
Still salty about that.
I've had a few, and yeah, it's just really annoying. But yes, that's 3rd place. Okay, 2nd place for you now then. What's 2nd?
So this is one that you're not even going to know anything about. And to be fair, I was surprised by this one. I forgot that it even came out this year because I think it was at this sort of point that I started watching anime again properly because I took a break for quite a while. But number 2 for me is The Angel Next Door Spoils Me Rotten. So I'm a massive fan of like romance anime, and this one took me by surprise because I watched it not expecting much. But it was like every episode of it was just super wholesome, and I think the character and relationship building on the series was so good. It was just so wholesome that just like it was really enjoyable and sort of fun to watch. And I think recently they announced that season 2 was coming, because I think this one like set up a relationship very slowly throughout the series, and then it started teasing it a lot more near the end, and then it kind of ended the season. And I think a lot of big things are like planned to come up next in the sort of like novel that it's based off. So I am very happy that they've announced the season 2 for it, and I'm very looking forward to it. But apart from that, it was just a really good romance anime, and it's been a while since I found a really good one like that, so I really enjoyed it. But yeah, what would be your number 2?
Well, really quickly, we've already talked about it. Bankai. It's Bleach. Of course it is. Bleach was always going to be in here for me because it's just... I mean, I've already said how much I love action. For this not to be in the top 10 would be criminal, considering how much I love action-based things. So Bleach is just... You said it earlier, and you bang on. Like, again, it was... I think it was probably one of the first I've ever watched anyway. Full stop in terms of anime. I think it was definitely one of the first I kind of checked out. Because I remember looking at him, the character. I remember looking at it somewhere. I think my brother actually was looking at it, and I was like, "Oh, who's that orange-haired guy with the massive sword?" Like, I was like, "I need to fucking watch this because this looks sick."
It was
Like,
similar with me. I was at my cousin's house and they were like watching like the Grimjaw versus Ichigo fight. I was like, this is sick. What the hell is going on?
yeah, they just like you said though. This part two of the Thousand Year Blood War was just pure hype. Every episode was just bang, 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 and it was just whoa. And I didn't even get my guy much, and I'm hoping that's what I thought was really good though, that they did a great job of just having everything else going on, and I'm super excited for part 3 because that's actually coming out this year as well. So I'm so glad that they are animating it very quickly. They're getting it done, and the animation, by the way, is so clean. Like, oh my god, it's so nice to watch. It just is.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, but yeah, that's my number 2. Okay, here we go. Top
Ooh.
1 of 2023. What makes it?
So for me, number 1 goes to Oshinoko. I think this anime absolutely hooked me in. Like, the first episode was just the big plot twist on it. I think what I loved about it was you just didn't know what the anime was. Like, I think when everyone sort of first checks out, you just think it's like an anime about the idol industry, and then just like the genre just keeps changing throughout the first episode. You're like, oh, so this is what this anime is about, and then it's like, no, and you're like, oh, okay, so this is what the anime is about, and it's like, actually no, and then you're just like, what? And it just like kept changing genre like so many times in the first episode, and you're just like, what direction is this going? And then like it finally ends, and you're just like, ah, I see. So this is what the plot is. And I think the plot is super interesting and hooks you in. I think the series also does a really good job of like introducing characters and developing characters. I think I pretty much like every single character in the series. I think, oh god, what else was there? I think there's the music as well. The music was absolute bangers. Like every song that appeared in it, like I got absolutely hooked on. They all made it onto my Spotify playlist at one point or another. But yeah, I think like the intrigue part of it got me most excited, and I'm super excited to see what direction the next season goes. But yeah, anything else on Oshinoko for you before we move on?
No, like I said, it made my number 7, so it was a big one for me. So it was great. I mean, I just remember. I remember in terms of our channel, at the time we were watching Konosuba, we were watching the spin-off, weren't we? The what's it called? Oh my god.
Oh, Wonderful Explosion something.
Yes, that was it. And then I kind of got a bit bored, if I'm honest. I was like,
You didn't have the context though. Like we should have watched the original Konosuba.
Agree. Yes, but then I remember we were like, oh, should we just replace it with this Oshinoko thing? Should we check it out and see what the crack is, and then we'll just.
I'm pretty sure I watched it. And then I was like,
yes,
you need
did.
to check this out. It was like the Mashal. But it was another random one that we picked up, and I'm glad we did. But
yes, and then season 2's out this year. Season 2 is coming this year. So
indeed.
To get on the channel at some point when that's out. So
I guess the last thing I'll say about it is just like, I think the reason I love it so much is because like my favorite genre of anime is stuff which is like shocking and like hits you in the emotions, and I think this anime does that quite well multiple times throughout the series. So yeah.
What you're saying is you love emotional damage.
Literally, yeah, that's my favorite genre of anime pretty much. If you look at my top anime of all time, I'm pretty sure all of them on the list will give you emotional damage. But
brilliant.
Yeah, so Oshinoko was my number 1. What would be your number 1?
Ooh, everybody get your guesses in now. Go for it. What do you think? Of all the things that have been mentioned, I want to see, pause it if you need to do it first and then
Countdown.
Guess. But my
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, well, technically, before
Oh, what? Faked out.
Okay, I've got a little bit. I cheated, all right, slightly.
Wow.
There's two, but let me explain. One of them wins. The other one would win, or would have been in there if it had been allowed to be classed as an anime. It's not.
Start with that one first, then.
Okay, I'll start with that one first. So, Blue Eye Samurai, right?
Right.
Would have been in my top 10, but it's not an anime. It's an animated series. So it's more of a. It's like how do I explain it? It's like, you know, Invincible is not an anime; it's an animated series, if that makes sense. So
It's a cartoon.
yeah, well, kind of, but
Wasn't I thought Blue Eye Samurai was an anime? Was it not animated in Japan and stuff?
no, because actually it was all of it's in English as well. So all of it's been filmed in English and everything. So
Yeah, but was it done by like Japanese animators or?
no, I don't think it is. I think it is done by.
Oh, really?
Is it American?
Because I swear I heard like some arguments about this.
Maybe it is. Then.
Someone mentioned.
But I looked earlier on. I tried to look earlier, and I was like, right, is it classed as an anime? And technically, technically, it's classed as an animated piece of work. And for example, the way I go with it is, it's not even on my anime list. So I was like, if it's not on there, then it probably isn't.
Fair enough.
Okay, but this is where I struggled. Can you see where I struggled now? Because I was like, well, I didn't want to offend anyone and go say it's an anime when it's like, no, it's not. It's like, so
that's fair enough.
So, but Blue Eye Samurai, Blue Eye Samurai was incredible. We've only had one season so far, and each episode's like about 45 minutes to maybe an hour. 8 episodes in total. All of it's on Netflix, and go watch it now. It's brilliant. And it had Metallica in it. I mean, come on. They used Metallica. Like, oh my. It was like, and that episode when it comes on, you're like, yeah, let's go. Like, oh my, it's so good. But the story's brilliant. The story's absolutely phenomenal. And I'm not going to ruin any of it because it is genuinely a 10 out of 10 I've given it. It's a masterpiece. There is nothing wrong with it at all. Nothing.
Nice.
I can't argue with any part of it. The animation's unbelievable. The character building is unbelievable. The story building is unbelievable. It gives you a bit of history as well in there, so you learn about a bit more about, oh, maybe that's why it was the way it was a little bit, and that's what that is, and all that sort of stuff. And now it's taken it to a different location by the looks of things in season 2, and you're like, I just want to know what's going to happen. I need to know. And even the side characters, it felt like I was watching. How do I explain it? Like, it's like Disney decided to do anime or animated work like this, but this is where it's difficult because they do animated work, but it's not quite like adult animated work. If Disney was to do adult animated work properly, this is how I would liken it to. It's so good. It's very good. For all of you out there, just watch it.
Maybe I will have to try and check it out.
give it the time, because it is a slow start, but it speeds right up. And my God, some of the episodes are very good. Anyway, so that's enough of that. But now, technically then, that's not in there. So boot that out for the moment, because that sits out on the side. But another 10 out of 10 for me is Pluto. Pluto is my number 1. Pluto was just
surprising.
Insane. Like, I never watched Astro Boy as a kid. I never was into it. I looked at it and went, yeah, it's not really me. It's too childlike for me. It was too... There wasn't enough darkness in there for me. Or you know, it was too like... I don't know. It's not cartoony, but that's how when I looked at it, that's the way I looked at it as. I don't know if it is, so apologies to Astro Boy fans if it actually isn't like that, but that's how I looked at it. But Pluto, when I first saw it advertised, Netflix were releasing Pluto. It's based on the Astro Boy stories. It's one of the stories that have been taken out, and they're going to make it a dark version. And I was like, that sounds pretty cool. I'm up for a dark version of something. Saw the trailer and went, I need to watch this. This had, again, 8 episodes, all available to watch, 1 hour in length for each episode. After each one, though, you are going to break down. So be prepared, get your tissues, because you are going to cry at the end of every single episode without fail. Like, I'm sorry, if unless you're a heartless person, then fine. But, like, yeah, it's just the story. And even at the end, I was, like, asking questions going, wait, is there more? There's got to be more. I can't just leave it there. And, okay, yes, there is technically more in the future, because it's based on Astro Boy, so there is more. But, like, that part of the story, it's done. And you're like, what? Yeah, it's a very good, and it's easy to watch. It's like I said, it's 8 episodes, 1 hour, binge it, job done. It was very good, very good.
Nice.
For those that don't know what it's about, it's basically just imagine robots existing in the real world, but with AI level intelligent robots. So and it's the usual thing about, obviously, some people don't like the fact that they're around. Do you know what I mean? But you get that in our world as it is now, don't you? With like, oh, I don't like that kind of person. I don't like those kind of people. It highlights that so heavily in this, though, and it's totally unfair and unjust what's happening. And I think it's just a really good job of, it's a very good story. Very good. Definitely recommend to anybody, those two especially. Pluto, Blue Eye Samurai, both on Netflix. Easy. Netflix have nailed it this year for me, mate. Honestly, I don't know what they've been doing, because really quickly, like, on the Netflix hype at the moment, like, One Piece was an absolute banger of a live action. And
it was.
Juju. Wow. Yu Yu Hakusho. What did I say? Juju. I know. Yu Yu Hakusho, like, has been an absolute banger as well. But, like, yeah, anyway, I'll talk forever if I go on. So that's my number one. Pluto / Blue Eye Samurai. Kind of cheated.
Nice. So, yeah, those were our top 10 anime of 2023. Let us know what yours were. It'll be interesting to see what everyone else put as their top 10.
Yeah, and please don't hate us. Don't go on the hate train just because our top 10 isn't your top 10. Remember, this is our opinion. This is our top 10. But we want to know what yours are, because I know that there'll be... Look, I'm looking at our top 10s now going, there's definitely stuff out there that could easily have made this top 10, and that's why it was so hard, because there's some really good anime this
year.
Difficult.
It was. There were quite a few good anime this year that nearly made it onto my list, but would just fell short.
Yeah, it just fell. Right, shall we do the top 5 openings of the year?
Okay, so this one should be interesting, because there were a lot of banger openings this year, wasn't there?
There was.
How are we going to do this? Are we going to individually go down our list, or are we going to go like 5th for both of us and then 4th for both of us?
Should we individually go down the list? Because I feel like these are just quick fire. This was a banger, this was a banger, this was a banger. Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
I feel like yeah. So you kick us off, and then I'll go after.
Okay. So I'll give a bit of a pause, so we'll like play a bit of the opening after each one. Okay. So for me, I had a runner-up because I was really struggling with 5th place. So... I was stuck between 3. I managed to knock one of them off, so I was stuck with 2 and I couldn't decide. So this is my runner-up, which is Rising of the Shield Hero Season 3. I believe the song was called Sin by Mad Kid. Number 5 would be Zom 100, Song of the Dead by... who was it? Canaboom, I think. Number 4 would be Hell's Paradise. I believe the song was called Work by Millennium Parade. Number 3 would be Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2, Part 2. I think the song was Specials by King Gnu. Number 2 would be Mushoku Tensei Season 2, Spiral by Longman. And then number 1, to no one's surprise, Oshinoko, Idol by Yoasobi. And that would be my top 5 openings of 2023. What about yours? What were your top 5?
Bangers in there. Right. Some of them are similar. I've got some similar ones. So if you start off there, 5th place would be Ragnar Crimson, which is Raw by Ulma Sound Junction. Yeah, so that's an absolute banger, that one is. But next one would be Jujutsu Kaisen, same one again, Season 2, Part 2, Specials by King Gnu. But Hell's Paradise is 3rd place. This is, again, there was an absolute banger. It was Work by Millennium Parade. And then number 2, we have Shangri-La Frontier Broken Games by FZMZ, which I believe, by the way, this is actually a group of separate anime opening artists that normally do things that came together for one group to do this as well, I think, by the sounds of things. And then first, I mean, it was a great season as well, but it didn't make my top 10, but it probably should have when I look at it now, actually. I'm actually really disappointed with myself that I didn't consider it. But Kengan Ashura Season 2, which was read by, obviously, you've all heard of these before, because they did The Rumbling Sim. Yeah, so that's my top 5. But looking at all of that, there's some bangers all over there. And even some of the other ones this season, like you said, Rise of the Shooter. I think Mashal had a great one. I think that...
Another one close for me was Loving Your Motherkin, level 999. Like, that opening was also close. Like, it was one of those where it just, like, gets stuck in your head and you just can't get it out of your head. So, yeah, there were quite a lot of bangers, weren't there?
Yeah, I mean, the recent one for us is obviously, because I know I said it earlier, but Jujutsu Kaisen has just been recent for us, so it's like, you are my special.
Literally every time. Like, if we didn't cut out, like, the opening, it'd probably just be us, like, humming along to that, isn't it?
Like, seriously, the whole time. You are my special. I think it's just the way it kicks off, it's just great. But yes, that's our top 5 openings. So let us know what yours were, because I think there's definitely been some bangers out there, and it'd be very hard. Good luck, by the way, because that was hard to cut it to 5. It's quite a challenge. But yeah, let us know what yours were in the comments. But now, let's look forward to this year then. We have the winter anime season coming, but rather than focusing on the key things that we're excited about this season, because we've done that already, you can all see what things we're going to react to as well. Let's focus on our top 5. This was hard, by the way. Top 5 most anticipated for this year. This was difficult for me. I really struggled with this one. But this is just 5. Should we rattle through them?
How are we going to do this? Are we just going to go through like 5th, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, 1st each for us? Or are we just going to go through our entire list?
Ooh, which way do you want to do it?
Let's go down each number together then. Okay.
All right, let's go.
So, 5th place. What was your 5th place?
Mine is Bleach, baby. I'm excited for some more Bankai. I need to see my boy Ichigo kick some ass. I need Bleach, and it's happening this year. So glad we're getting that. I'm so excited, honestly. How about
it's going to be a good one as well. They teased quite a lot of interesting parts.
They did.
Maybe spoiled quite a lot of big things that are about
too
to
much
happen.
Of what they shouldn't have teased. Yeah. And I know there's been a bit of an argument about that one, hasn't there, been going on? But I think they've teased too much, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I consider it a spoiler, man. Like, so, I know some people are like, it's not a spoiler. I'm like,
I'm a non-reader, so yeah, I'm a non-reader, and I watched and I was like, okay, great.
There are very subtle teases to these things, but they just like straight out just like showed it in the trailer. I'm just like, god damn it, these were massive moments in the manga and it's just been shown in the trailer, so that frustrating.
Yeah, I know we've already had teasers of it through like you said, through the last part and everything, but like you're never quite sure. You're like, but yeah, anyway, that's 5th. I'm buzzing for that one. What about you?
So yeah, that would be close. I'm also excited for that, so it was close on my list as well. But number 5 for me would be The Angel Next Door Spoils Me Rotten Season 2. I'm not sure if it's confirmed to be this year, but the second season did get announced, so I think it's heavily like possible to be a 2024 anime. But yeah, as I mentioned before, like I think it was it my 2nd place or second place for me for my top 10. So yeah, I'm very excited about this anime. Coming back for a season 2, as I think this is one of the strongest romance anime that's been out in recent times, so yeah, I'm very excited for that. What about your number 4?
4 is actually Dandadan.
Is that just because it's got your name in it?
Yeah, it's got it twice as well. Yeah, but no, like I went into the trailer blind in this. I was like, I don't know what this Dandadan is. What the hell is this Dandadan? I looked at the poster for it. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Like, and it hooked me in. So I was like, I'm gonna watch the trailer. So I watched the trailer for it, and I was like, this just looks crazy, man. There's like loads of stuff going on I want to know about, and the animation looks so nice to look at as well. But like, I just felt like there's like an alien vibe to it. A supernatural vibe probably is better the word. A supernatural vibe is probably the closer word I'd use for it actually. But it definitely felt like there's a lot of mystery going on. And I know a lot of fans I've spoke to of the show, of the manga. People have said that this is supposed to be great, and it's going to be great. And I'm like, oh, I'm excited about this one because this one's getting a lot of attention at the moment.
I've heard so much about it, but from the trailer, it didn't seem exciting for me. But I'm not sure if this is going to be one where... I'm guessing this might be like an Apothecary Diaries or a Shangri-La for me, where I'm not interested initially, but after, maybe you check it out, I might actually eventually check it out and enjoy it. But from the initial trailer, it didn't seem like my thing, but a lot of people... I've seen so many people talking about how it's going to be amazing, so... Maybe I will have to check it out because it does seem like it's going to be one of the big ones.
Yeah, you'll have to let me know near the time because at the moment it's planned for me to hit on my other channel. That's if my other channel survives, by the way. I'll talk about that on my own one at some point, but we'll see how that one goes. We've got a week left, so let's see how that one plays out. But Dan was planned, like I said, but he let me know near the time, and then and if everybody else would be interested in a duo reaction, and I can quite easily just move that over. It's not a problem at all because that's going to be a big one. I'm excited for that one because that looks. Whatever happens, either way, you're going to see it on one of the two channels without a doubt. Like it's going to happen. Just
for sure,
got to figure it out. But yeah, that's fourth. What about fourth for you then?
Fourth place for me would be Reincarnated as a Slime, Season 3.
Oh, yes. That's going to be good.
This is one of... See, before I wasn't too big on isekais, but there's been a few absolute banger isekais, and this was one of them. I feel like Slime has done such a good job of world building, and I loved, Season 2. So I'm super excited for Season 3. I recently watched the movie and the special OVAs that came out recently. Didn't do it on the channel because originally you weren't really interested, so I thought I'd just watch it in my own time, and I kind of enjoyed them. They sort of teased some stuff if coming for Season 3, I think. So yeah, I'm very excited about this.
Yeah, guilty, by the way. Guilty.
Yeah, you and Slime.
I may have realised I haven't watched Season 2 yet, and we're...
I can't believe this. I wanted to do this on the channel with you to watch Season 2, but you were like, oh, I've already watched it. I was like, damn, it would have been so good because Season 2 had so many great episodes and great moments. And then you literally found out, 2 weeks ago or something that you haven't actually watched it.
No, so, do you want to see it, guys? Let me know, because I haven't started it yet. I haven't started it yet, but you're going to have to let me know pretty quick if you want me to react to it.
I think you should watch it on the channel because either way, you're going to have to catch up for Season 3. Cause,
I know. Either way, I'm going to have to. So, yeah, it's just let us know. ASAP, please.
Yeah, is anyone interested in seeing his reactions for Season 2 of Slime?
Yeah, just let me know and then I'll get it done. So, yeah, because I massively enjoyed the first one. It wasn't like, oh my god, why did you drop that? I don't know why I dropped. I don't think I dropped it. I just don't think. I don't know.
See, that's the thing though. You don't know what you're missing because I feel like Season 1 was no way near as good as Season 2. So Season 2 is if you enjoyed Season 1, Season 2 is gonna blow your mind. So I'm excited for you to check this out.
Well, should I put that in my top 5 at Season 2? Yeah, dear. But yeah, I need to check it out. I do need to check it out.
For sure. So yeah, moving on to number 3. What would be your number 3 most anticipated?
Oh boy. Now, talking of Isekai. Suicide Squad Isekai. Yeah, baby.
What is happening? How I don't understand how this is a thing.
I'm just on the high. I'm on the train. We are going, and this is just. I don't know. The trailer just got me. When we first had the. I remember saying to you in the summer. I think I said to you, Cheng, there's a Suicide Squad Isekai, and you were like, what? It's no, genuinely. There's a trailer for it. Let's check this out. And it wasn't much of a trailer. It was literally just like an image. I think it was just like a Harley Quinn moment showing you the animation, wasn't it? Really, it wasn't like
yeah.
I wouldn't class it as a trailer. It's more just like a PV, I suppose. Then the trailer did come out, which you can see on the channel, by the way, if you want to go and see the reaction to it. But the trailer actually came out for it, and I was like, "Whoa, this looks good!" Like I mean, I know it's been animated by Wit Studio, so it's not going to be good. Do you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
By the way, talking of Wit Studio at the moment, what have they been smoking or doing, man? Because seriously, they have got this coming up. The Suicide Squad Isekai obviously is coming up for them. They obviously did Vinland already. They've done Attack on Titan. They also have signed the rights with Netflix to do the remake of the One Piece. That's what they're calling it, by the way. I haven't just forgotten the title. They're calling it the One Piece. Is their remake title. But they're doing the remake of it on Netflix. I'm like, what is Wit Studio? How are they getting all these deals?
They seem to be nailing it.
They honestly, anyway, Suicide Squad Isekai is going to be great. I can already see it. It's just going to be great. DC Isekai into another world. Wow. Yeah.
I still don't understand why this is a thing, why it's happening.
I don't know why.
It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be, just chaotic. So it should be a good time. Yeah, and it's great because they've got some great characters in it as well already that we've seen. Like, obviously, the characters we all know and love from the Suicide Squad already, from the movies that you've seen as well, and from obviously reading the comics. But so that's number 3. What about number 2? No, number 3 for you. I've skipped one. Wow. 3 for you. Number 3 for me would be Oshinoko Season 2. Yeah, as we mentioned before, like, Oshinoko was my top anime of 2023, so I am super excited for this season going forward. It seems like we're going to get a lot of highlights on my favourite characters, so I am very excited for this. Akane, best girl. Let's see what she's got.
Nah, I've already said it's going to be the other one, but I can't remember her name right now.
Oh yeah, she's such a best girl, you can't even remember her name.
Hey,
he's talking about Kana.
There's so many. Yeah, that's the one I'm on about. Yeah, there's so many to remember.
But yeah,
throughout the year, that is.
I'm very excited about the next season of Oshinoko. It's got some really big arcs coming up, so yeah, hopefully we're going to get some big revelations and big plot progression. So yeah, moving on to second place. What's number 2 for you?
Good news is about this one is it starts this weekend. Oh boy. And I'm riding the train that everybody else has already started off, and I'm just joining on now because I feel like I'm a sheep. I'm joining you. I'll be there. I know nothing really about this apart from watching the trailers. Solo leveling is happening. People keep saying it's going to break the internet. Will it? I don't know.
I don't understand how it can. That's why I think I'm going in with no expectations on this, because I feel like if I hype myself up, I'm going to be disappointed.
I agree. But I just think there's this level of hype feels similar to the time when, Naruto level hype, One Piece level hype.
I don't think we can say that because I don't think we were even like watching anime when they were first being announced and stuff. So we don't know what the hype was for those.
I agree, but I mean, like, I just think, how do I compare it to something that we've had? Okay, what about, it's probably we haven't had this experience since probably My Hero Academia probably is the time when we had that same kind of, whoa, this is a thing.
See, I don't know if those were even that hyped up. Like, I think this is the first thing I've seen which has been hyped up so much. Like, I can't think of like another anime. Maybe Attack on Titan, but I'm not sure. I don't even remember that there being that much hype. There technically is
another manga that is being hyped up, and it is the meme manga, which everybody's hyping up, that already has 100 seasons out already about it, and all know the meme I'm talking about. The one that's got like barely any chapters available, but it's already become a meme. Oh God, what's it called? The guy with the black blade, whatever his name is. Oh my God, someone's going to say at some point.
Right, I know what you're talking about, but I don't know what it's called.
It's just funny because everybody's like, it's the top seller. It's the best anime. It's got none of that. It turned into this big meme. That will, by the way, when that actually does get an anime, can you imagine when that gets an anime? I feel like just for the meme alone, it will become huge.
I don't even know what the meme actually is. Like, what is it?
I don't know enough either, mate. I just know it's everywhere. Like everybody just joins onto it. I don't know really what it is about, but yeah, someone can explain it to us. You know what I'm on about, by the way. Everybody knows what we're on about, but I don't know why.
Yeah, I've seen it on the front page of Shonen Jump a few times, but I've not looked too much into it.
But yes, Solo Leveling, and we're reacting to it as a pair on the channel. So get ready. It happens this weekend. We're kicking it off, and I can't wait. It's going to be good. I pray to the copyright gods, please don't take down the video.
Yeah, I'm going into that with no expectation, and I'm hoping I'll be pleasantly surprised. There has been an absurd amount of hype behind it, so I'm trying to keep that in check.
A big
I feel like the only other thing which had that amount of hype was Vinland Saga, and I just didn't enjoy season 1 that much. Like season 2 I've been loving, but season 1 I think the hype probably held me back a bit, and I'm hoping that this doesn't do the same. But yeah, gonna try and go in with zero expectation. Hopefully I'll be surprised and enjoy it.
Alright then, number 2 for yourself.
My number 2 would be Mushoku Tensei Season 2 Core 2 or Part 2. I am super excited for this because yeah, as you might have seen sort of behind me around sort of that area, I've got all of the light novels of Mushoku Tensei. I ended up reading ahead a long time ago because I got super hyped into it and I couldn't wait. So yeah, I ended up reading ahead. All I can say without spoilers is like a lot of the last season people thought was a lot slower, but I feel like that's because it was just doing all of the sort of world setting, all the character building in one go. And now it's going to go and expand out and sort of progress the story more. And I am so excited for some of the moments that are going to be coming up in the next season. I think the next season it's going to start with a bit of a slow bit still. I feel like the first few episodes it's going to be wrapping up stuff from the last part. But going past that, we should get a lot more sort of action and sort of stuff that you sort of get excited about. So I am excited to see how you sort of react to that sort of stuff, because we've got a lot of good shit coming and I am super excited for it. But yeah, that is my number 2. So we get into our number 1 most anticipated anime of next year. You can go first. What's your number 1?
This one won it by a country mile, by the way. Can I add? This one wins by, for me, in my world, this wins by an you might as well throw it down the other side of the planet. That's how far this number 1 is compared to everything else for me, because this...
Really?
Mate, I have played every single game of this series. Every single game. I watched the original animated series of this when we had it years ago, and I was gutted that we never got more. And we're finally going to get it this year, and it is Devil May Cry. We're finally getting an anime. I know we already had one, like I said just a moment ago. We had an anime, but we're finally going to get it, and we're going to get focus on it, and hopefully it will drive forward and get the momentum. By the way, when's Devil May Cry 6 coming out? Anyway, that's like, seriously, that's to you, Capcom. When? Capcom, come on. Get it done.
To be fair, I'm excited for this as well, because I do also love Devil May Cry.
Oh, it's just so hype, man. And I could just imagine what this is going to be like as an anime, because I remember watching the original one going, oh, this is great. And
I just don't know what it's going to cover. Like, is it going to be canon? Is it going to be?
Well, that's what I want to know, because we don't know anything yet, apart from we've seen what Dante looks like, we've heard his voice, and I'm okaying it. It ticks the box for me. I am ready, because
I'm hoping I just want it to be canon. If it's canon and like, you know, has like, you know, big characters like Virgil, Nero and stuff in it, I think that'd be absolutely sick.
You think about the story's good enough already in what they've created with the games, right? The story is good enough. Yes, it's a bit mixed in all over the place, and it's all over the place, and they're in different orders, right? But there's so many things in the Devil May Cry universe that I'm going, oh, I'd like to know more about how that happened, or why they became the way they are. Why is the relationship the way it is? Because they talk about it and you play it.
Yeah.
You don't really see. And then I also want to know, like, because obviously Devil May Cry is about it's about their little band of group of people that got where they go and save people, and they do missions and stuff. Do you know what I mean? So it was his shop. Do you know what I mean? That he had as well, that he used to run with all the characters that we've know and love from all the games.
Yeah.
And and I'm like, I could just see. Maybe it's my mind that's seeing it, and I'm hoping they're going to create it. But my mind sees the potential of just being humongous if they get this right. Because it's
to be fair, like, I would have been happy if the anime just covered like the story of the games from like timeline order, like from
that's exactly it. That's what I would
from the
I would
origins all the way through like 3, and then to like I think like 1, 2, 4, and onwards. Because I feel like the games have finally started streamlining the story, so it's like just going forward now. So it would be nice if they cleanly sort of wrap everything up into like a digestible format and have it as the anime. I think that'd be sick.
And get the battle music bang on as well, because that's what makes it for me. The battle music is just... they need to use, by the way, the music that's in the games. Please, I hope that they're thinking of using at least some of the music they already have in the games, because for the fans, the gaming fans out there that played it, it would be massive to do that.
It would be sick.
Little moments would be brilliant. I still remember the first scene of playing Devil May Cry, that bit where you're in his shop and he gets hit by loads of those freaking I think it was a Joker looking creature that comes in and he gets the pizza and he's trying spinning it. Oh man, I just love Devil May Cry. Devil May Cry 1 was one of the best games I ever played in my life. I loved that game.
I think Devil May Cry 3 for me.
Well, yeah, that was the one that was the one that hooked a lot of people in, to be fair. But one was... we won't talk about Devil May Cry 2. That didn't happen. It's been deleted. But, anyway, sorry. There's so much hype for me for this one because it is just... It's Devil May Cry, man. Come on.
I mean, just look at your Nerdyverse chibi. It's pretty much Dante.
Like, come on. It's like, he is... If there ever was a perfect lead character out there, it's Dante. Dante is just legendary. He's just so good. There's not one part of him I don't like. And I love the relationship he has with, like... I want to know more about Virgil as well, because I feel like there's still not enough covered on Virgil yet. I still feel like he's one character that hasn't... I know he's had a lot now, but he hasn't had enough for me yet. I need more.
See, I always felt that the game didn't develop all the characters like as much as they should have. So I'm hoping this anime does manage to do that.
Yeah, because obviously, Lady Trish, all those other ones, they need more focus time.
Well, I feel like even Dante doesn't get that much story. Like,
not
I feel
anymore.
Like a lot of the
he did it at the beginning.
Action.
He did it at the beginning.
Yeah,
but
true.
Like now, I feel like because they've moved to Nero more.
Yeah.
I feel like Nero gets a lot more focus. But I was so happy to see that it was Dante was the first character we saw in the animation that we saw from what we've seen in Devil May Cry so far. So I'm so glad, because I was worried. I was thinking, oh no, are they going to go straight to Nero and just skip Dante? And I was like, nah, I need to see early years of Dante first. Then we can move into Nero. A bit like I'm not going to compare it to Naruto and Boruto, but like I need to see how it kicks off with him first, and then eventually we'll get to Nero, like down the line. I don't want it to be... Yeah, but anyway, that big hype for me from that one. I can't wait. I'm not going to say any more because I'll be here for another hour.
Fair enough.
But yes, that's my number one. What about yours then? Number one.
So my number one of next year, I guess I say next year, but this is another mystery because I don't think they've actually given a specific date, so it might not be next year, but I kind of assume it is ReZero Season 3. I am super excited for this because, as I've mentioned before, ReZero is one of my favorite anime. ReZero is probably one of the reasons we started this channel in the first place. Like, one of my reasons for doing this channel was to introduce to you like some of my favorite anime and make you watch them, because there's been so many times I've tried to introduce you or other like people in our friends group to like great anime, and just people never get around to it, and I always feel like you guys are missing out. So I'm super happy that we finally started checking out ReZero on the channel. We've started season 1. We've not made too much progress on it yet as of this point.
8 episodes in, are we at 8 now? Well, we've watched ourselves, like...
Yeah, I think we're currently on like 8 or 9 episodes at this point. So we're slowly getting through season 1, but season 2 is like one of my favourites, so I can't wait until we get to season 2. So yeah, we've got a lot of good stuff coming. So I'm hoping you enjoy ReZero as much as I did, and then you can be on the same hype I am for season 3. I don't know anything about season 3. I bought like the light novel like years back of the first book of volume 3 or season 3, and every time I've tried to read it, I just end up getting distracted. I think I bought it to like go on holiday once, and every time I tried to read it, one of our friends just kept talking to me, and I just never got around to like getting past 3 pages.
I know
so
exactly what
I was
you're on about.
so I was just like, I'll read this later, and I've just never got around to reading the next book. So I actually know nothing about what happens in season 3. So yeah, I am super excited for the season. And
oh mate, there's a lot. There's so much though. I keep looking at this list now, and I'm like, oh yeah, but what about what about this? What about that? What about this? What about? There's so much coming out this year, and this is it. We don't even know what the full year is going to look like. This is what we all know right now. So if anybody's watching this video in like 6 months' time, he's going to be like, hold it a minute, what about this? He'll be like, well, it wasn't even a thing because there's so many. For example, One Punch Man season 3. I don't know when it's coming out. It could be this year. If it is, that would definitely be my top 5 right now, but I don't know.
Oh, really?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know when One Punch Man's happening. By the way, we are watching One Punch Man on the channel at some point, like season 1. We're starting from the beginning because I haven't watched it in so long. We need to start. Like, we'll do it when we know about season 3. But One Punch Man, we need to do it because it's so good. It's so much fun. Like, I just love him. Saitama, man, badass. Anyway, yes, this year is big. But what are yours? What are your top 5 if you can get 5, by the way?
Yeah, let us know what anime are you guys most anticipated for.
Yeah, and is there anything that you actually go, do you know what? These are the ones we're anticipated for, and we'd love to see you guys check it out at some point. So let us know if there's actually something that you go, do you know what? Like, this is the one we want you to see the most. And we'll have a look and see if there's certain ones that keep getting called out, and we'll check a trailer out or whatever. Keep an eye out on it, and we'll see what we can do. But plenty of stuff coming out this year. Is there anything else we wanted to say? I don't know if there was. I don't think there is there?
I don't think so. So I guess we can just wrap it up. So I guess the final thing from me is just, thank you again to everyone who supported our channel over the past sort of like half a year or so. Happy New Year to everyone, and wish everyone else a Happy New Year and, a successful 2024.
Absolutely. And thanks again from myself as well. And bring on 2024, man. There's so much. And by the way, this is just anime we've just talked about. Don't even get me started because it'd be another long video. But if you do want to see a video of us talking about like the TV series and movies that are coming out this year, there's plenty of those too. Like there's a lot. There's a lot coming out, which is great though, because it's a great time to be, especially it's a great time to be a geek / a nerd, because like my god, there's so much coming out. Like gaming wise, that are being animated or being turned into a live action. My god, there's so much. But yes, thank you so much. Thank you for checking out this video. If you have, let us know in the comments. Whatever you want to tell us based on the question we've asked you about. Top 10 anime of this year, top 5 openings of this year, and what are your top 5 anime anticipated ones of this coming year. I keep saying this year. I'm going to get mixed up, but yeah. Thanks again, and we will definitely be seeing you on more reactions coming shortly. So thank you.
Indeed. Cheers, guys. Bye.